Hello, I'm FruUtter, Mrs. Utter. In this video I am going to play KatsCorner's Sims 4 LP Strangerville challenge, in which your Sim self, and I'm making one myself, is going to do quite a lot of things in order to complete the challenge. So the rules are listed there, and if you go to KatsCorner's YouTube channel, you will too see all the necessary information if you want to participate. This is day 4, or the beginning of day 4. It's night from the third day and fourth, and I bought a new bed for my poor Sim self, because the other bed, it was poor quality, and I thought that I just have to invest in a better bed so that she gets refreshed quicker than in this other horrible poor quality bed. And the day starts with some club members arriving, and it's a very early morning and it's cloudy, as you can see. And now I'm checking if I can get the charisma scale up so that I can have some boost. But I still have to do some club activities before we can get that perk. And to gain club points, what you basically do is eat, drink and play games. So it's quite easy, isn't it? And it gives us some relationship points as well, especially when they are dining together, or I guess they are having lunch at the moment. And still, I'm not really focusing on the aspiration. I'm doing other things which I love to do in real life, like gardening and chatting a little bit. And now we are driving away, and where are we going? Well, we are going to go to the library, or to the bar, or to the library, or to the bar. Oh, it was library. Oh well, and look, we can have charisma scale up, so now let's meet some very important people. Ho ho ho. And these people are military personnel and scientists, and even some conspiracy theorists as well, because, well, at this point I didn't really realize how important they were. I only sort of, understood it with my female intuition. If there is any such thing like female intuition, come on people, there is no such thing. Well, anyway, now it's time to... Oh, there is a scientist! There he is walking into the library. Oh, probably a PhD person, a very interesting and intelligent, and a very interesting to talk to, and is a member of Mensa. By the way, I met this person who was interviewing me for a job, and he said something like, well, have you done this psychology test, about the colors that reveals your personality? And I said, no, I am not really into tests. And he said, I did this IQ test, and I am a member of Mensa, you see. I said, yeah, I did this how do I look and who do I look like test, and it showed that I look like an alien. He didn't have an answer to that. And I certainly didn't take the job, because, I'm not on his level. I'm not a member of Mensa. And there is the scientist, and we just have to be friends with him, because I think that will really be beneficial for us. Yes, it will. And now my Simself is really tired, and we have to purchase some potions. And in this case, it was not the moodlet solver, because I think I didn't have enough points for that, so I took the sleep replacement potion. And here is someone else. I think this guy does something in the military base. I don't really remember at the moment what he did, but we do have to have some relationship with him, I think. And charisma is up. Isn't that marvelous? And cloud gazing is excellent. Is an excellent method for gaining friends and for getting some fun up. You're right. To go home. I mean, it's late. And we still have a lot of things to do, and I'm not really on my track when it comes to achievement part. But my energy level is good because I took a sleeping potion, and so I'm getting this ambition, Renaissance Sim or something like that. And I have to read 3 books. So what I do, I'm reading these conspiracy theory books, but they don't really give me any knowledge. So next day we are getting the club members to the house, and I'm trying to do some woodworking, and it doesn't go very well. We are still on this stupid level, make a table, make a Simoleon. Oh yes, sir, this guy, did you see him? It was quite a short while you saw him, but anyway, he's a very important guy, and we just have to spy on him. And then, well, I didn't really dare to blackmail. And we have to plan some of these spy devices, listening devices. It's quite nasty. I really dislike it, to be honest. But if we want to participate in the challenge, you just have to be naughty, very naughty, naughty, like Pompidou says. And here is the guy we want to have really close relationship to. And back to the curio shop, because at this point, believe it or not, and that's really silly, one should read instructions, but I didn't realize that I can buy those listening devices from my computer. Oh, facepalm, I know. Please don't put the salt into my wounds. Or else, just shut it. So, what else do I want to have? I got, very upset with my not knowing things, and I became a sort of a shopaholic. I just tried to find something to buy to please me. Look at that. Click, mad clicking. No, I'll be satisfied, I guess. Oh well, I hope we do learn from our mistakes. And now there is a handiness thing again. You can level your handiness up by repairing the toilet and things. And doing some gardening. That's my greatest pleasure, actually. In real life as well. Believe it or not. And again, every achievement gives us an extra bonus point for the potions. And potions are really necessary for me, and since this is day 5, I'm still hoping that, or think in my, head, that I have so much time, plenty of time. You see, I'm just standing there playing with Bob pancakes and trying to defeat him. I think I'm defeating him. I'm not sure, but I definitely not thinking about going anywhere, spying on anyone, nor, you know, like doing something for the Strangerville, being a hero or something. Well, that's typical me, I guess. Now I'm thinking about collecting something. Am I? No. I'm not pleased with the fact that the woodworking give me very little money. And one of my friends, by the way, just died on me. My god, suddenly I only have 4 friends. Come on! That's no good. So, club members will give me a better buff, you know, the green one. And I have a milestone completed. That's nice. That's very good. But I still have to have some better sort of relationship with some of the important people in the stranger world. That's strange about the important people. I mean, some people really believe that they're sort of very important, you know. But I guess we just let them to believe it. And this important person, I just cannot figure him out. I really don't understand him, but now he got, you know, this implant, the device on him, and now I can spy on him. And by the way, instead of making a lot of food, which is time consuming, I'm just eating beans. Oh dear God. You know what I mean, I guess. Well, unless he doesn't come up with the idea to give you all sort of give you experience of all these senses, I think we can eat anything in Sims. But I have to say that my Sim self is also eating parsley. And that's not bad.
Your point is an elephant.
By the way, I got so sick and tired of not being able to produce something that gives me some Simoleons. I bought a book, you know, this hand, what is called, woodworking, handy book, and I decided that I just read it and get my handiness level up to 6, because after that I can do something more significant and I can sell it for a little bit more Simoleons. And here, what am I doing here? I don't really know, but I think I got quite a good not reputation, but relationship with one of the important people or Sims, and so that I could get this scanning device. And I didn't really realize that it could be so difficult. And you know, you get some very strange suggestions in order to get the device, or you know, later on you will have to have something else, you know, a piece of clothing. Then you should like seduce people, Sims, or you do bribe them, but seduction, not my thing. Oh well, yeah, you see, I decorated my little home, and here I am reading the handiness book, I think, just to get the right level up. Now it's time for a new visit to the lab, and at this point I realized that well, the aspiration will not be that easy to complete, and I'm taking my club members with me for some reason. You know, if there is any danger, I can send them first, and if they get eaten or beaten or anything, I will not really be the one who will get all that. Oh, how nasty I am. Naughty FruUtter. So here is my good friend, and I realized that he is very important. So he got me and gave me the key to this special door. Yes, sir. So now I'm opening the door and I get the achievement. Yes, sir. But I didn't really realize that I have a long way to go. And here is one of my important persons, and I have to gather some evidence. So my sim self was running around asking this guy for advice, how to do, what to do, where to go, where not to go. So he has been a good supporter. As you can see, my sim self is very, very sad because of the loss of the friend. Right. And now the dossier part, you have to gather information about something and someone, or, about the case. And I realized that I had not done it yet. And you will see what happened later on. So I had to run around gathering the evidence. And this is like day 6. I really lost track of all the days because of not going to sleep. So the clock is ticking, and not the biological clock. The achievement clock is ticking. I can walk in this place, but it's not really the right place I can walk to. So we just have to go home. I mean, what else can you do? Nothing. Oh, no, I was wrong. One can spy and can spy. Oh, why not? And eat some parsley. Oh, well. And talk to friends, because you see, I think when you click on the club gathering button, then the sad buffer disappears, but not in this case. And by the way, I did add the most important sims of the Strangerville to my club. But really, as I told you in the previous video, I should have started to mingle with the elite, with the cream of the crop earlier, and actually invited them into the club, made my own club. But on the other hand, I don't think it would really matter, because I really encountered some other problems. And you will see it in the next episode, what sort of problems, which I really could not anticipate. So, oh well, but enough of that. You see, my favorite thing and occupation is gardening, weeding, and this is how the next day starts. And this day is not really different to any other days. It's playing with the club members, drinking some water because I cannot afford wine, and doing other fun things like completing milestones and buying some potions. And now it's a moodlet potion, and moodlet potion gives you everything up to top, which is very convenient when you do this. And naturally you spy on people, and it's already evening, and you do other nasty things, like reading. Yeah, here is the where I'm reading the handiness book, and I should to have done it much earlier in the process. I should have invested in a few books, and not just stood there, and tried to learn by doing. This is very strange. Why it's programmed that way, I really do not know, but it should be quite the opposite. And it's again, we are on the next day, and now I have like a skill 7 in handiness, and I'm able to make a bathtub, which means that I can sell it for much more than the previous item. The price range you get for selling a bathtub, now it's only a table, but later on I got to the bathtubs, and it's like 755 to 1150 Simoleons, and that is not bad. So to gain like 10,000 Simoleons you have to make, well, like 10 bathtubs maybe, but it doesn't take that much time, so it's just great. Oh well, at this point I really knew that I will have no problems with gathering 10,000 Simoleons, and I already had 6 friends, I think, so that was not a problem at all. The problem was quite different, and it was the evidence gathering and the aspiration thing. Now I think I only had like some days left, so back to the lab and see what we are going and are able to do anyway. Suddenly I didn't have the key to the door. What's that? So I had to ask for it again. You see, one really has to read the instructions in the achievement part, or one doesn't make this thing at all. I had to resolve the problem quickly and invite one of the important Sims to the lab area. In the kitchen, or in the huge lab kitchen, I tried to ask for a key and some advice and stuff. Yet still no key. I don't really understand what happened there. How could I lose the key? But suddenly I found it again. I probably asked for it again. So this is kind of strange. Anyway, now I could enter the lab and I could go in and make some potions. And I entered the place with my fellow simmers, or club members, I mean. And I realized that I needed some ingredients to make some important potions or vaccines or whatever it was. And naturally I didn't have enough things for that. So once again, it was a dead end. So what did my sim self do? Naturally talk to the important people or sims, and I have 2 sims. One of them is scientist and the other one is a military personnel. And I was desperately clicking on every device I saw, and I was hoping that I can do something here, but no. I needed a few ingredients, and I'm not going to tell you what ingredients, otherwise it will be a spoiler. I'm already spoiling a little bit, but I mean, better say less than too much. Well, when I returned, I still felt that I have done something right, because the atmosphere and some things changed, but it's already did last time as well, when I did after I visited the lab. What I like about this place, Strangerville, is that it reminds me really of this questing in games like World of Warcraft, you know, where things change after you complete the quest chain. And it seems like Sims have finally got the thing and are making the game more exciting, more quest-based, which I like very much. But anyway, this didn't really do me good, this understanding, because I still had some things I needed to do. And I really needed this piece of clothing. So I had to talk to this guy about it. And do you think he wanted to help me? Let's ask him about it. No, he doesn't want to help me. Naughty. Naughty. Naturally, my sim self does not really give up, and the blackmail is not really in my book, but nag, maybe nag. No, my sim self turned to some woodworking, probably hitting with the hammer on the head. No, not on the head. No, we are not violent. We are hitting with the hammer on the wood. And for that we get a level up, and we get some Simoleons. Yes, sir! Now we have like more than 5k Simoleons, and that's good, but now we really have to convince that guy to give us what we need so that we can get that piece of clothing for the lab. Well, I didn't want to seduce him, it's like, ugh. So I just paid him off. I gave him 700 Simoleons, I think. And then I had to go back and make some Simoleons again by making bathtubs. Only 755, but still. And now it's time to go to the lab again. Because now the important thing is to gather a few things so that we get ingredients for the potions or vaccines or whatever it is. These spores are easy to find, but it's like running around and it's a bit time consuming and so on. And you have to touch that horrible plant as well. Maybe it's not that horrible, maybe it's only me who thinks it's horrible. And now through the door, and let's see what will happen if I actually will be able to like make something out of this. So here is the lab, some chemical device in which you put things and you make some basic chemistry. And you have to use those spores, and you have to have something else, and I have this very important. No, this one was the conspiracy theorist, so I really forgot that he cannot really help me much. Unfortunately, I should have had the scientist with me, so that was a miss once again. And while you're doing this chemistry thing, you gain some logical skill as well. So here I got the bad news, he cannot really help me with the suit. I have to find a scientist, and I do know a scientist, but I just invited the wrong person to my party. This is the guy I should have bonded with from the beginning. The scientist guy. And I think it's also a guy who just will not give you what you want. You either have to pay or you have to scare him. No, I didn't scare him. No. But, well, you have to do a few things in order to gain what you want. Yeah, you see, once again, I have to give him something and then he can make me something and so on and so on. So I should have thought of this before, and I had a few days left for the challenge. So now I desperately did some money making, because I had a feeling that I will need quite a lot of Simoleons in order to progress. Yes, you see, he promised me to send things to my mailbox. I hope he will keep his promise. So in desperation, my sim self made some woodworking stuff again because nothing came into the mailbox. And the clothing is made of 2 pieces, so you have to get one in the mailbox from the scientist and the other one you have to find somewhere else. And I didn't realize it yet. Oh well, why sulk? Let's just go and party. And here is the next day, and it starts very early, and I got to the level 10 in handiwork. Handy fruit. And actually my sim self is waiting for the curio shop to open because there is something she wants to buy. The gardening skill pays off as well because the horrible fruit is now a grown plant and I could gather things from it. So it's not bad with the gardening skill. And finally the morning post has arrived. Yes! Let's see if he delivered what he promised us to deliver. And it's plain nothing. Oh, I should have started with this much earlier. Okay, let's go to the curio shop then and see what we can buy there, if anything. We'll be ripped off again. Maybe he just kept the money and will never send us anything. Well, that could happen. And what are we buying here then? Yes, and it cost us only 1,000 Simoleons, and they do not take credit. Ha! After a total rip-off, my sim self wanted just to go away for a while, and where? It's a secret for now, and you will know that in the next video. Now I thank you for watching. In the next video we are going to take a look at the rest of the challenge, and I only had a few days left and I was quite desperate, believe me. Now remember to subscribe, and on the gallery it's FruUtter, you know that. Remember that anything I can do you can do better, and Utter loves you. Bye bye.